Welcome in, everybody, to this deep dive. Today, we're going all in on, well, X.
X marks the spot, right.
You got it, or maybe it marks the glitch. We've been getting a ton of feedback from you all about Twitter, which is interesting in itself, right?
Right. It seems like that name change really, well, it didn't stick for everyone, at least not on the subreddit.
Yeah, like trying to rename the town square, everyone still calls it by the old name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the amount of chatter on there, it's like everyone's trying to figure out this new X thing together.
And a lot of that figuring out seems to be happening in the Help Me posts, which you flagged as, well, kind of alarming.
Yeah, there are a lot of technical issues. It's one thing to have a new coat of paint, but if the doors don't open,
Users are going to get vocal.
and they are, big time. Like one user, they couldn't even rewatch a video, and it's like if X is changing how they deliver content, you know?
Oh, interesting. So not just a bug, but maybe a strategy shift, with the whole CDN thing.
Right, a CDN or content delivery network. It's basically how they get the stuff from their servers to your screen. If they're messing with that, well, maybe it's tied to that user who is trying to block images by blocking, twimg.com.
Hold on, so that's a whole other layer. So we've got potential bugs, strategy shifts, and now the ghost of Twitter pass hanging around. This is more complicated than I thought.
And we haven't even gotten to the content itself yet. We've got spam, we've got, well, let's just say not safe for work stuff popping up in the wildfire updates. That's a lot.
And the Temu ads, don't even get me started. It's like they're afraid if they stop for a second, we'll forget to buy something.
It's a tough balance, right?
Yeah.
Keep the lights on, but not blind the users with the flashing neon sign.
Speaking of which, one user called the spam a torrent, which ironically is how some people might describe the platform itself right now.
It's a lot to process, that's for sure. And we're just getting started.
It's almost like someone hit the refresh button on the internet and now everyone's blinking trying to figure out what just happened.
Yeah, trying to find their footing in all this newness. And some of it's kind of scary, to be honest.
Well, you brought up Helene before we started recording, and I gotta say, that's what really got me, that's what stuck with me. What was it like? Do you remember what they were saying about her in those posts?
Oh, yeah, it wasn't pretty. Just rumors and more rumors. And I even saw a couple, I don't know, conspiracy theories, and it's like, this is a real person. This isn't some politician or celebrity. This is Helene.
And that's the thing about X, right? It's always been, I don't know, a little more unfiltered, but now it feels like
Like the Wild West.
worse. Like the Wild West, it only had a handful of moderators for the entire frontier, and you can't just pick up your saloon and move it when things get rough.
No, you're stuck there with all the spam bots and
And the people who just use all caps to shout about Timo.
See, that's the thing. It's like, even if I wanted to buy something, seeing it every 5 seconds would make me want to chuck my phone into the ocean.
Maybe that's their marketing strategy. Temu, so good you'll throw your tech away and live off the grid.
But seriously, even if it's not malicious, it's just overwhelming, right? Like sensory overload.
It's exhausting trying to sift through it all. And then you've got folks that are just trying to share their cat videos or, promote their animal rescue or something positive, and
Crickets. It's like the algorithm just swallowed them whole.
which, is the opposite of what a good algorithm should do. It's supposed to connect people with what they want, not make them feel like they're shouting into the void.
It's like, remember dial-up? When it took like 5 minutes for a picture to load, some users, that's their experience, just trying to send a direct message.
That's brutal. It's the worst of both worlds, right? The Wild West is lagging, and the saloon doors are stuck halfway open. And everyone's waiting for the tumbleweed to roll by so they can see what's on the other side.
Hoping it's not another Temu ad.
Okay, but seriously, it sounds like we're describing a platform that's, I don't know, a little all over the place, wouldn't you say?
More than a little, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to build a brand new car while driving it at the same time, and they
Yeah.
keep changing which direction they're going in.
So it's like they're trying to invent a whole new way to get around while still trying to make sure the wheels don't fall off the old one.
Right. And they've got to convince everyone to get on board with this new thing, even though it's not exactly road ready yet.
And they're doing all of this with, what, one hand tied behind their back?
Yeah.
Because that valuation loss, it's got to be like this elephant in the room that no one's talking about.
Oh, it's definitely there, like a big unspoken pressure hanging over everything. They need revenue, but are they going about it the right way? I don't know.
It's tough, right?
Oh,
Because on the one hand, you got to keep the lights on, but on the other hand, you don't want to alienate the people who are paying the electric bill.
Exactly. And it's not just about the money, it's about the experience. Users want a platform that works, that makes sense, that doesn't feel like a constant barrage of, well, everything.
So where does that leave us? What's the takeaway for our listeners who are, living in this X-shaped world right now?
I think the biggest thing is, well, buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride. X is changing, and it's not clear yet what it's going to become. It's like watching a caterpillar try to figure out how to be a butterfly.
And some caterpillars, they don't quite make it, right?
That's the big question, isn't it? Will X spread its wings and fly, or will it, well, get stuck in the chrysalis?
Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, it's going to be interesting to watch. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everybody. We'll be keeping our eyes on this story, so stay tuned for more updates. And in the meantime, let us know what you think. Are you sticking with X? Are you jumping ship? Let us know in the comments.